It's an uneasy ceasefire, and more than a year after Hamas took control of the Gaza Strip, Palestinian fighters have fired into Israel more than 5,000 rockets.
Now, Israel recently entered into a truce with Hamas, and while the ceasefire is largely holding, at least one militant group, the Popular Resistance Committees, building and developing more rockets.
CNN's Paula Hancock gives us a rare look inside this group and what's at stake.
The call to prayer in Gaza, in tandem with the training of a militia. The armed wing of the Palestinian militant group, the Popular Resistance Committees, shows us its new recruits. Masks hide their identity. Considered freedom fighters by many here, terrorists by much of the West. The training is tough. There's little room for error or fear. Each night, these men do marching drills, target practice, and learn to overcome any obstacles. And the tactic feared by Israel, hostage-taking. The PRC was one of the groups involved in the kidnapping of Israeli soldier Gilad Shalit 2 years ago.
This kind of training can only take place at night, so the Israeli forces can't see it. And they burn tyres all around the training area, so there's thick smoke, making them invisible from the air.
Only one man shows his face on camera. Ibrahim Dahman is already wanted by Israel. He tells me they're preparing for an Israeli incursion, saying, "We have been under siege for the last 2 years. The only thing left is for them to invade and kill us." The next morning, a 20-minute warning and a meeting point. We are blindfolded and driven in the back of a van to the group's rocket factory. Our phones and the phones of the other camera crews are taken. The factory is in fact a small room. The tools are basic. Only a gas leak from the canister convinces the rocket makers to move to a more ventilated area. Even as a fragile truce with Israel holds, the production of rockets does not slow down. A fear voiced by many Israeli officials. Hamas says it is the responsibility of each of the 16 factions that agreed to a truce with Israel to respect it. That includes the PRC. The PRC supports Hamas, but one spokesman said last week if nothing improves within 3 weeks, such as the opening of border crossings, it would return to the cycle of violence. Thousands of rockets have been fired into Israel from Gaza over the past year, killing 4 civilians, injuring many more. Materials used in the rockets are kept secret. The rocket heads have been prepared beforehand. We're not told where.
And these men want this to be filmed. They want the world to see it. They specifically want Israel to see them still building rockets, but they don't want to give away their location.
PRC spokesman Mohammed Abdul Al looks on as a new rocket, Nasser 4, is unveiled. He says Nasser 4 has double the range of Nasser 3, from 12 kilometres to almost 25 kilometres. If true, this would put larger Israeli cities like Ashkelon and Ashdod under greater threat from attack. Without doubt, this is a demonstration choreographed for the camera, but also a rare glimpse into what happens behind the scenes of a truce. Paula Hancock's CNN Gaza.